We're talking that Star Wars, baby. Rebels! It's the only time I could use it. It's like, if it's Star Wars Rebels, I don't have a cosplay or anything, so I have like 2 lightsabers, and the only time I use it is only Star Wars Rebels reviews, or Star Wars reviews in general. So the Star Wars Rebels, Imperial Supercommandos was great. This is the episode I've been looking for when it came between the chemistry and just an overall episode between the 2 characters I wanted to see together a little bit more, and that's Sabine and Ezra and my boy Chopper. My boy Chopper always has to be in an episode. If Chopper is in the episode, it's a good episode, okay? But in this one, we did see Sabine. We saw their prisoner, who is Finn Rue. He's a Mandalorian. He's a protector of the Mandalore homeworld. It's been kind of pretty much overtaken, and Sabine and Ezra are kind of like investigating a little bit. They take him along as a prisoner, of course. He gets out, and he finds out that all the protectors are wiped out. His truce with the Empire is up in flames. I mean, some even Mandalorians pledge allegiance to the Empire, and it's actually pretty cool. Their actual armor, it kind of is a cross between Clone Wars and a little Mandalorian, but it was a really cool kind of like their armor, that is. Loved the ending of this episode. I thought the whole episode in general was really good. I thought the setup was pretty good. Like the whole Mandalorian, just that whole thing just screams like, I want to know more. I have to know more. Give me more. And that's exactly what I got. I mean, I got a little bit of... I want to know more of Sabine and her relationship with her mother. And we did find out a little bit more of that about that in this episode. It was great to see Ezra find out about that, because you could tell Ezra really cares for Sabine. I don't know if this can turn into a romantic relationship, but I do like the friendship and camaraderie they have. And I love how even in dire situations, like Sabine makes the best jokes. She did so many great jokes in this episode. And of course, Chopper, especially holding Ezra's nose when he got knocked out by Finn. And it was a good episode, man. I thought it was really cool to see these Mandalorians and talk about Mandalore, and just a little bit more of see the protectors and what they're all about. And just like that's really cool idea to see the Mandalorians actually pledge allegiance to the Empire. I thought that was pretty trippy as well. Of course, Sabine is her own... So she's considered as a traitor, but Ghost Crew is her family, and that was really cool to stand her own. I really like the action scene. Oh man, the ending when the chase sequence, basically when the commandos were going to chasing after Ezra, Sabine, and Chopper, and Sabine has her jetpack and she's holding Ezra, and Ezra has his lightsaber. I thought that whole sequence, that whole fight sequence was really, really well done. So good. I really like the use of the surroundings. I thought overall that was just a very fun, energetic, and it was reminiscent of like a Star Wars original trilogy movie. It was reminiscent of like Luke with his lightsaber, especially towards the end when Finn actually comes back instead of betraying them, comes back and ends up helping Sabine and Ezra. But most of the time this is such a trope when the character leaves and he's like, no, I better go back and save him, and he's right there in the best timing ever. So a little bit of a trope, but honestly absolutely I just had a lot of fun with this episode, man, and I really do enjoy the characters of Sabine and Ezra. Ezra's really growing on me, especially this season. He's become a little bit more mature, still a little cocky, but a little bit more mature. I just really like the different Ezra we're getting this season instead of past seasons. And I think this season is starting to become one of the best seasons. I really feel like every episode is an enjoyable, watchable, and it moves the story. It introduces a little bit more to you, and it moves the story a little bit more to you. And they're really just trying to bring in more people to fight the cause. And as we saw in the end of this episode, Finn does pledge allegiance to the rebels because all his men were wiped out, and he saw Sabine and her courage and her loyalty, and she said, respect bro. So he's gonna he definitely wants to. He's gonna help. He's gonna definitely help. And what I liked about this episode was Sabine wasn't the damsel in distress. Sabine is her own strong-willed character, so she definitely got out of that situation with Finn. She definitely held her own. She kicked his ass. I mean, love Sabine. Sabine is such a strong role model to a lot of females. Even though she's animated, she's just a well-written character, and I just absolutely love Sabine. And Sabine is that's why you see cosplays, you see costumes of Sabine throughout, and a lot of people don't maybe not even watch Rebels. I know a lot of people who don't watch Rebels, and they'll be like, who is that? Like, they love the armor, they love the whole change of color of the hair. I mean, she's such a cool badass character. But it's not only just her, it's also Hera. Hera is such a badass cool character as well. Both of them are like my favorites. I've had to do a top 5 favorites of Rebels, but just it really showcased a lot of Sabine in this episode, which is great. But it also showcased the relationship between her and Ezra and how much trust there is. And there's trust throughout the Ghost crew. There's always going to be trust. They know they can trust on them. They know that they'll come back. It's really great. And Chopper, come on, it's Chopper. He is a little G. What can I say? All right, I'm Dan to Make It Down Son. Thank you for the spoiler review. I hope you saw that thumbnail. It says spoiler review. Star Wars Rebels. The season's really heading off such a great start, but I need to see me some Thrawn. I would love to see me some Thrawn in here. I know he has his big mastermind plan towards the end, but Thrawn, that's the problem with villains. They introduced Darth Vader a little bit in season 2, and then of course at the end. With Thrawn, I want it at least half. If they're the last half of the season, I want him throughout the whole season. Like, I need Thrawn. They need to establish and they need to showcase a lot of these people who are watching Rebels that this guy is a menace. So, thank you guys for listening. Dead Man's Son. I'm out. Bye.